Planning a trip to Switzerland in January and you're hoping for real winter, not just some patches of snow here and there, January is actually the month where Switzerland delivers that. January in Switzerland is as wintry as it gets. It's the coldest month of the year, and that cold changes everything. In the lowlands, January is usually cold and often grey and very quiet. Fog in the Midlands is still common, especially around the lakes and valleys, and it can sit there for hours usually. Now, snow in the cities happens more often than in December, but it's still not something you can plan around. When it does snow, it often looks great for a few days, then it disappears again. So, Interlaken, as you see it in this footage, is still quite rare. Temperature-wise, cities usually sit between 0 and 10 degrees centigrade during the day. That's around 30 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, in the mountains, January is where Switzerland finally looks the way people imagine it. The temperatures stay low enough for snow to remain on the trees during the days and in the forests and around the villages as well. Now, this isn't just snow on the ground here, it's actually winter wonderland. Now, during the day, temperatures in the mountains often stay around freezing or below. At night, it can get very cold. -10 to -20 degrees centigrade are not unusual. That's about 15 to -5 degrees Fahrenheit, especially in higher valleys and in shaded areas. For packing here, think full winter. Warm layers, a proper winter jacket, waterproof boots with good grip, plus gloves and a hat make a huge difference, especially in the mountains. Now, because the cold is stable, conditions are much more predictable. You do not get that constant cycle of melting and refreezing you see earlier in the season. Now, January is when winter actually settles in and stays. And because January is so consistent, it's the month where you really do everything winter related without thinking too much about the conditions. Skiing and snowboarding are on. Most ski areas are fully open by January with long runs from top to bottom and reliable snow across the whole region. This is also when snow quality is often at its best. Sledging is another big one in January. Many runs only really work once the snow has settled properly, and January is the month when this is actually the case. Some of them are several kilometers long and take you all the way down into the valley. Ice skating is possible almost everywhere it's offered, and winter hiking is at its best too. The trails are groomed and clearly marked, and you're walking on packed snow instead of mud or half-frozen ground. Now, in some places, you can even take horse-drawn carriage rides on sleds, through the valleys or villages, and on very cold stretches, some lakes freeze over. And when they are officially opened, people walk on the ice or skate on the natural lakes. Now, one important thing is January is winter safety. The mountains look inviting, but this is deep winter and conditions can be serious. Avalanche risk is real. If you're not experienced and properly equipped, don't wander off marked pistes or winter hiking trails. The same goes for frozen lakes. Only go onto lakes that are officially opened and clearly marked safe. Never assume a lake is frozen just because it looks white. Now, January is also a great month for scenic train rides where you get the continuous winter view out of the window. Now, there are routes like the Glacier Express, for example, or regional mountain railways that make you feel you travel through winter wonderland. Even in January, public transport works very reliably. Now, trains and mountain railways are built for winter, and snowfall rarely stops them from running. Delays can happen during heavy storms, but complete shutdowns are very rare. Now, January is also a bit split when it comes to crowds and prices. The busy period around Christmas and New Year ends quickly, and after the first few days of January, you'll notice a clear drop in people, especially in the mountains. Slopes feel less crowded, villages are calmer, and everything becomes much more relaxed. Now, this quieter phase usually lasts through the middle of the month. It's one of the best times to ski or enjoy winter activities without the holiday rush. Prices don't suddenly become cheap, but they are often more reasonable than during Christmas week. And towards the end of the month, things pick up again. School ski holidays start in parts of Switzerland and neighboring countries as well. That means popular resorts get busier, the prices rise again, and the availability becomes tighter, especially in well-known areas. January starts with New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, and that sets the tone for the first part of the month. Now, your New Year's Eve is a big night in Switzerland, especially in the cities and popular mountain resorts as well. There are fireworks, public celebrations, and a lot of private parties. In ski resorts, it's often one of the liveliest nights of the season. Now, if you haven't booked your restaurants what feels like 3 years out, you'll be in trouble. A few days later, on January 6th, we have Three Kings Day. It's not a huge public event everywhere, but it's still a part of a Swiss tradition. You'll see special Three Kings cakes in bakeries and supermarkets, and one person gets actually a little king inside of one of their breads and is going to be crowned the king for the day. Now, January is also the month when many ski races take place across Switzerland. Some are big international events, others are regional ski races, but they all have an impact on travel. On race days, certain slopes or lift sections can be closed and villages can be much busier than usual. Now, if you're staying in a ski resort, it's worth checking the local event calendar and making you not surprised during that time. So places in question are mainly Wengen or Adelboden, and because I don't have any footage of the races, you'll just see me enjoying my favorite slope in Wengen for the time being. Now, if you'd like me to do more winter content, let me know in the comments on what you want to see. After that, January is pretty calm. There are no big festive markets anymore, and the focus shifts fully to the winter sports and being outdoors. Now, if I were traveling to Switzerland in January, I'd keep it simple and fully commit to winter. I'd spend most of my time in the Alps. January is not the month to rush around the country. It's the month to pick one region and stay there. Somewhere with good altitude, reliable snow, and a village where you can walk straight into the winter activities. Focus on a place where I can mix skiing with winter walks, sledging, and just being outside every day. I wouldn't try to move hotels too often too. The days are shorter and the nights are long, and that actually works well if you slow things down, or if you want to take advantage of night skiing or night sledging, which is offered in some resorts. I use cities only as short stops, not as the main focus. A day in Zurich, Lucerne, or Bern works well if at the beginning or the end of the trip you want to do that. But January really belongs to the mountains. You can even say January is the heart of winter in Switzerland. It's cold, consistent, and it finally looks the way people imagine. If you want snow that stays, forests that are white, and winter activities here and there, of course, this is the month for you. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon around in Switzerland. Bis bald und tschüss.